Turned down for what? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I refuse to be moved by a connection. How about that? This is my third time trying. For some reason it keeps attempting to kick me out, but I persevere. I win in every situation. So I will continue to give this word that I have been given for those that will enter. Hey, Lorraine. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is my third attempt to deliver this amazing word I have, and I keep getting interrupted by Facebook. So all is well. I'm never moved by distractions. I persevere in all situations. And like the song says, turn down for what? Like literally, turn down for what? And so too often in life, people get to a place of comfort and they turn down. And so the question is, turn down for what? Every finish line is simply the beginning of a new race. But so many people tap out at that end when it's only the beginning of a new race. It's only the beginning of your next destination. You have to go from point A to point D in order to get to E. However, some people get to D and they tap out. They feel like they're done. They're all in. But you're not. It's only the beginning of your next dimension. And so in my text, it says, what are you destined for? What are you waking up for? It's a question, guys. You know that I am all about having a conversation. It's never about me just coming on here and talking to you guys. As a matter of fact, anytime that I get on here, you know that I have great revelation for you. I'm not one to just jump on just to be jumping on, but I'm jumping on with a word to change your life. And so it's a question. What are you destined for? What are you waking up for? Like the song said in the beginning, turn down for what? This is my third attempt at releasing this information that I've been given, and I'm going to persevere until I give it. So turn down for what? As a matter of fact, it's fuel for me to continue in my destination of delivering this message. Turn down for what? It's a question, guys. I want to hear from you. I see you guys are jumping on, and I absolutely appreciate it. But I want to hear from you because too often people just live their life just to live it, right? They survive instead of thriving. But I'm all about thriving. I'm here to instigate your greatness at the next dimension, right? So what are you waking up for? What are you destined for? Literally, what are you destined for? Hey, Lawan. And so I love the lyrics of Cardi B. And so everybody have their own opinion about Cardi B, and it's fine. But I'm all about lyrics. And so if lyrics don't match up to what I want, I typically will change for them to match what I want. And so Cardi B, one of the lyrics in her song says that she's a boss and you're a worker. Don't get comfortable with comfort. And so are you a boss or are you a worker? Literally, it's a question. Are you a boss or are you a worker? And so life has shown us, it has taught us, it make us think that we're boss, right? We get all these amazing titles and these positions, but in all actuality, we are really a worker. In all actuality, we have been limited by our birthright. We live beneath our birthright because we're under a limit that man has set. So are you really a boss or a worker? What are you destined for? What are you waking up for every single day of your life? What are you destined for? Right? And so it reminds me of the Uber and the taxi situation. You guys are familiar with that whole ordeal when it came into place and how the taxi cab commission was so distraught that Uber was coming in and they were interrupting the normal flow, right? I love interrupting. I love disrupting the norm. And so when that whole ordeal began, I actually got into it. I actually began to see what exactly is going on. And so in my question here, Are you taxi or are you Uber? Have you begun to get comfortable with comfort? Have you begun to get comfortable with the limits that one has set for your life? Have you begun to get comfortable with the title that someone has given you, making you think you are a boss when you really are a worker? Have you gotten comfortable? What are you destined for? Because here's the thing. If you don't know what you're destined for, you'll take what shows up every single time. You'll take what shows up. So what are you destined for? And so I'm all about instigating your greatness. I'm here to disrupt your pattern of the same. What are you waking up for? Are you waking up every day to go to a job that you don't like? Or you may be in a situation like me. I absolutely loved my job when I worked in corporate America, but it was not destined for my greatness. It just wasn't. It was a part of the process, but it was not destined for my greatness. So what are you waking up for? Are you a boss? Are you a worker? Are you Uber? Are you taxi? Who are you? Are you disrupting the comfortable areas in your life, or are you going with the flow of them? Who are you? What are you destined to do? You have to know that, because again, if you don't, you'll accept what shows up. If you don't, you'll identify with what somebody tells you is for you, and you're living beneath your birthright, right? Everybody is on this whole Wakanda trip, right? Wakanda forever. But what about you forever? What about your destiny forever? There were so many amazing life lessons in that movie, but I don't believe, in fact, I know that people don't take heed. They have not taken heed to the lessons in the message. And here are the key lessons in the message. The young man that went back to get his birthright, he understood that he was entitled to it. What are you destined for? He understood that he could go and fight to be king and went and got it. What are you destined for? Are you accepting what somebody is telling you, or are you living out your destiny? What are you destined for? Are you Uber or are you the taxi? Are you disrupting the normal flow in your life? Are you participating in the process of somebody else's limitations? Because here's the thing. God never designed you to live a limited life. He designed you to live an unlimited life in every area of your life. But life happens and most people go with the flow of life. What are you destined for? What are you destined for? It also reminds me of Blockbuster and Netflix. When Netflix came on the scene, Blockbuster's first was dominating the industry, right? However, their great became good, right? And so they got comfortable in the place of good. Netflix came in and said, hey, I'm willing to offer you several $1 million to buy you out because we're entering the industry. We know that you have great influence in the industry, so I want to offer you several $1 million to enter the industry. Guess what? Blockbuster said, I'm good. They got comfortable in their good. They got comfortable thinking that their great will ride them out for the rest of their life. They got comfortable in not cultivating their great to become greater, that it became good. And Netflix said, okay, no problem. We're going to dominate. And they did just that. They wiped Blockbusters out. For a lot of the millennials, you don't even know who Blockbusters is. Has your great become good? Right? Are you a boss or are you a worker? Seriously, what are you destined for? It's a question, guys. I need you guys to talk back to me. Let me know, what are you destined for? Are you that person that you do everything else for everyone else except yourself, leaving what's left? And then 9 times out of 10, you're tired, so you're just resting. What are you destined for? Who are you? I was at Radio 1 on yesterday, an amazing experience, right? Because when I go into places, I don't just go in for an interview. I was invited to come into Radio 1 to have an interview on yesterday, right? And so when I go into these places, I am embracing the environment. And so when I went in yesterday, I embraced the environment. I looked around me and I can see all of the different entities, all of the different radio stations that we listen to. 93.9 Kiss, 102.3, Heaven 1580. All of them is housed under the vision of Radio 1. That's dominating. That's knowing what you are destined for. That is having all of these different entities under one umbrella. And guess what? They compete with one another, but they're under one vision. What are you destined for? Are you dominating, or are you comfortable with what somebody told you? What are you destined for? Are you living beneath your birthright? Are you operating in the gifts and the callings that God has placed on the inside of you? Or are you living a limited life based on what somebody else has said? You've been in an amazing career. You make amazing money. So you think, right? Because I've been there. I can only share where I've been. I've been in great position. I've rose to the top, right? To as far as they will let me go. And I've made great money at that time that I thought was great, until God says, there's more. Don't get comfortable with the limit. This was only a part of the process. This is not the finish line. It was the beginning of your next destination. So what are you destined for? Are you comfortable with somebody telling you how much you'll make every year and excited about 4% when you know that you're worth more? What are you destined for? What are you destined for? It's a question, guys. Talk back to me. I want to hear from you. What are you destined for? Like I said, that Radio 1 interview absolutely changed my whole, well, it confirmed some things. It didn't necessarily change. It just confirmed some things that are already on the inside of me, that are already on the inside of me for my destination. What are you destined for? What are you destined for? Have you allowed your good? Have you allowed your great to become good? What are you destined for? Hey, Angie. Hey, Tashika. Hey, Tiff. I see you guys are on. Cherie, Sandra, Daisha. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Miss Jackie. What are you destined for, guys? Are you living in your destiny? Are you operating in your birthright at the level that you're supposed to be operating in? Where are you in that process? I am here to stir up your greatness, to instigate your greatness. What are you destined for? I'm also here to invite you to Destination, the retreat.eventbrite.com. It's a retreat that is like no other. It's not just all about vacationing, and yes, you will vacate. Because here's the thing that I learned about vacation. A lot of times people go on vacation and they're saying, oh, I'm going to go for a time to reset, a time to rejuvenate. And you're not actually resetting or rejuvenating anything. You're recycling what you've already had when you got there. The only thing that you did different when you go on vacation is that you give your brain an invitation to stop thinking, right? And so we don't want to give our brain an invitation to stop thinking altogether. We want to give our brain an invitation to think at the next dimension, to help us get to our next level. So what are you thinking? What is your destination? What are you destined to do? And so Lorraine says, don't get comfortable. Get ready. Be ready. Change is good. It took me a long time to realize that. Absolutely, absolutely, Lo. It does. And so that's why I'm here, to bring that to the forefront, right? To bring that to your imagination, because you can go wherever you want to go on the canvas of your imagination. But too often we stay stuck in a position. We stay stuck in a place, right? That was only to help. That was only a part of the process, but we get comfortable with good. And that was never the design for your life, to get comfortable for good. Every finish line is simply the beginning of a new race. And so Destination, the retreat, is all about you birthing your brilliance at the next dimension. And I'm not just saying birthing, but actually executing at the next dimension, right? And so we all, have been to these inspiring conferences, and I love them. You know, they've helped me to a certain extent, but I am done with being inspired. It is time to execute. It is time to see your vision in full manifestation. And so that's what Destination the Retreat is all about. It's about stretching your imagination to a place where you can't go back. Not that you refuse to go back, but that you can't go back. You've been exposed to more in your own life, in your own view, tailored exactly for you. It's not what somebody think, but it's tailored for exactly to you. This conversation should be confirming some things in your spirit. If not, Destination the Retreat is not for you. I'm not here to change your mind about anything. You should already know that there's more. You simply just need to know how to get the more. You simply need the accountability to stretch you to your next dimension. I'm not here to convince anyone otherwise. And so this conversation should be confirming, right? It should be confirming some things that are already on the inside of you, because that's who Destination the Retreat is for. It's for the person that know there's more and they're ready to go get it. It's for the person that knows that their life depends on it. It's for the person that knows that that's leveraging legacy for generations to come. Destination the Retreat is for the ready. In fact, I typically allow up to 50 people to come to my retreats, right? Because I'm all about intimacy. I'm all about knowing the person that's there. I'm all about being present. So I'm not big on numbers and 200 and 500 people. Why? Because I can't help you in that large scale. And so I always make sure that my retreats are very intimate. And so in this time, I have not allowed that many people to show up. To register. In fact, I've only confirmed a very limited number at Destination the Retreat, because I have to weed out the people that's coming just for vacation. I have to weed out the people that's just coming to play, because playtime been over and you know it. Playtime been over and you know it. Right? You know that you've been living beneath your birthright. You know there's more, but you haven't gone to go get it. You know that your life depends on you changing in 2018. So Destination the Retreat is for the person that knows. Destination the Retreat is for those that are ready. Destination the Retreat is for leaders to help them get to their next dimension. So join us August 30th through September 3rd at Destination the Retreat in Riviera Maya. It's in Mexico. It is a destination because you have to get outside of your normal environment to get to your next. You got to clear the clutter. You literally do. You have to clear the clutter. You got to get off of those electronic leashes, the ones that you're listening to me on now. They're great, but there's a time and there's a place for them. You can spend hours on that electronic leash and then don't have any dividends in the bank to show for it. Time out for that. It's enough for that. It's time for us to go to our next destination. It's time for us to cheer for ourselves. It's time for us not to be on the sideline for everybody else and thinking that only they are supposed to be blessed. No, you are supposed to be blessed. God has given each one of us the measure of faith to get us to our next destination. But you have to participate in your own rescue. You have to participate in the process. And this is a part of the process. Again, join us in Destination the Retreat in August in Riviera Maya, Mexico. It's going to be an amazing time. Yes, you'll have time to enjoy the resort. At the same time, you're going to have time to enjoy your life. When you come back, it's not going to be just a vacation as usual. No, it's going to be you coming back with things already in place, things already in execution for you to get to your next dimension, things already working at the next level when you come back. It's not just you coming, you release your brain from thinking for 4 days and then you come back to the same thing. No. This is different. This is completely different. It's an experience that you have never experienced in your life, literally. So join us. And guess what? It's on Labor Day, guys. I will be inducing your labor in Riviera Maya at Destination the Retreat. You want to be there. You can't afford not to be there. You can't afford not to be there. You want to be there. And so Anita Womble says you have to have self-care. That's what this retreat is all about. Absolutely, Anita. This retreat is all about self-care from the inside out. Mind, body, soul, and spirit, right? And so some of you guys are extremely well in one or two, maybe even three of those areas. But we're talking about the whole man. We're talking about full circle, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Your whole man will be addressed at this retreat. But you got to get there. And so some people have asked me questions about, will it be streamed live? Will it be streamed live? Fortunately, not unfortunately, fortunately not. And here's the reason why. Because you have to know that you have to be in the building. You have to know that you have to get in the corridor, right? Technology has made, I'm not even going to include myself because I'm not participating, but it's made so many people lazy with their destiny. You got to go get it, guys. Faith with work is alive. I know the word of God says that faith without works is dead. And so I flip it. The opposite of that is faith with work is alive. You got to do the work. Stop trying to cheat your way in. Stop trying to shortcut your way in. No, make the investment and come get what you need, right? If you don't feel like you're worth the investment, neither do I. Point blank, period. I'm not streaming live. As a matter of fact, I'm not even allowing the attendees to stream live because it's for the people that has made a decision to invest in them. I have laid my life down. I have sacrificed my life for this retreat, for the people that decide to invest in it. And so it's a disservice. As a matter of fact, it's a disrespect to the people that have invested for me to allow somebody that's sitting on their couch to get the same information that they do. You got to make the investment, guys. You got to know that you're worth more than just some red bottoms. You got to know that you're worth more than just a meal. Because here's the thing. The money that you spend on clothes, on your outer appearance, is far less than what you'll have to invest in this life-changing destination. These are tools, these are principles, these are nuggets that will transform your life for the rest of your life. And so you got to decide what's important to you. Are you okay with wearing a costume? Because many of y'all are over wearing a mask, right? You have masks, not wearing a mask. Let's get rid of the costume, people, literally, because you can dress it up. But what's going on the inside of you? Are you settling for less? You know you're amazing. You know you are brilliant. Everybody bets on you but you. It's time for you to bet on you. It is time for you to bet on you. And what I mean by everybody bets on you, in your job, in your workplace, everybody calls on you to make it happen. Why? Because they know you'll make it happen. Well, what about you? Will you make it happen for you? And when is the question? When is the question? And so I had to ask myself that question, right? Like I said at the top of this video, I did amazing in corporate America. I rose to the highest height that they would allow me because they dictate where you go and how much you're going to make, right? And so because I was exposed to a certain thing in my life, right, in my life lineage, 6 figures was attractive to me. And so when I made 6 figures while I was making them millions, I was okay with it. It's not okay, guys. If you can make a corporation millions, you can make yourself millions. And it's not just about the money, guys. There's several additions to this. Yes, the money plays a part because money will help you get to your next dimension, right? But I'm talking about legacy. I'm talking about exposure. I'm talking about generations to come because the word tells us that you are supposed to leave an inheritance for your grandchildren. It says for your kids, and that's your grandchildren. And so I'm leaving a legacy. I'm leaving a legacy for my grandkids, kids, and kids. And so I had to get out of what I thought was security, right? I had to get out what I thought, what made me feel great, and do it for myself. All bets was on me. And the same is so for you guys. But you have to participate in your own rescue. You do. And so again, I invite you to induce your labor. You've been pregnant long enough. You've been pregnant with purpose long enough. Somebody is waiting on your yes. So I invite you to have your labor induced on Labor Day weekend. Right now, go to destinationtheretreat.eventbrite.com. Your life, the generations behind you, will never ever be the same as a result of you making this investment in change. I'll see you there.